Alrighty. Should be good. We'll see how well the connection holds up. It's giving me a lot of problems. Oh, already an issue. Cool. Guess it's going to be one of these streams, eh? Where I just, for some reason, my internet fucking sucks. God, dude, I hate the internet at this fucking place. Literal dog shit. It's not going to work tonight, is it? Nope. Gonna be another one of them, huh? What's up, Matthew? I'm kind of hoping that my internet winds up working tonight. Not off to a good start. Just real randomly right now decided not to work for this stream. Cool. Well, that's fun. Gotta love being throttled. Don't know why suddenly my internet doesn't want to fucking work. Does it want to do something? Like stay connected? Not hard. Yeah, just the first round like usual. Well, hopefully it starts to stabilize. Nationals upset the Dodgers? Really? That's a pretty funny upset. You might have to just bear with it tonight, folks, about the potential connectivity issues. I have no idea why it's acting up. It is what it is. To some extent, you know what I mean? It's just, you know. We'll have to take our pockets of good air. And like usual, we'll give it about 10 minutes, and then we'll get into the fun side of the picks, where we actually start making picks, going over everything, all that fun stuff. My pick is Hope. I think last time you chose Campbell. Okay, I think that was right. It'll be an interesting first round now that we have trades. Depending on how the first couple picks play out, the Patriots might be slipping back in the draft with maybe like a team like New Orleans or something. Because that's one of the more hot trade rumors that I've been hearing is the Patriots and Saints might be swapping first. Maybe you throw in a Chris Olave, you swap first, you get an Olave. Maybe you don't have to give up as many picks to go get that first rounder. You know, you entice the Patriots a little bit, a team that could use a nice young star receiver like Olave if he could just stay healthy and stop getting concussions. Maybe leaving New Orleans helps that. Don't know how it would, but you kind of never know. All right, looks like how's the connection going for everybody? You guys all stable so far? Or is it super laggy? Just kind of, you can be honest about it. It helps out. Connection's good. Okay, cool. Let me know if it ever starts being weird. I have a pretty good eye on it. It seems like moving that little antenna system worked quite a bit. Don't know why. Whatever. You want the Bears to trade back to like 15 and get an edge, defensive tackle. I don't want to do just stupid trades for no reason. Like just because you want your team to trade back and get more picks. I'm not doing that. If there's like a legitimate reason to trade back or like a real reason your team might trade back or something, then yeah, then we can do the trade. But if it's just like, well, I want more second round picks, it's like I don't want to do that. If you could take a player and they're there and it's not that bad of a reach, just take the player. I feel like it adds a whole lot of extra time if everybody's trying to concoct these trades so their team can have like 12 second round picks or something. And it's like, we're not even doing this. I don't care about any of that. I'm going to stack the deck so your team gets the trade. Your team's going to get ripped off. Oh, in the real draft. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, your team's going to get ripped off for a trade. It's just how it's got to be. And so that actually goes through in this stupid mock draft system. Seems like moving that might have helped. I don't know why it did. Who knows? Maybe it just found a stable situation here. I'm gonna get rid of this. Fucking ads, dude, are terrible. But anyway, How's everybody's day been? Everyone been good? Everyone ready to do a little bit of drafting? Doesn't look like there's going to be a ton of people at this draft, but that's all right. Should be able to manually force trades in these because there's some actually good trades that don't go through. Yeah, no, I wish there was a manual trade, but yes, usually you just got to kind of like overstack the deck because they also don't really give you players to trade. I don't believe, at least in years past, they haven't. I haven't used PFF this year to do a draft, so. As always, same kind of rules apply with this, right? Depending on what happens, I could see the Cowboys trade down. Potentially, yeah. Them going and getting Milton, kind of, I don't see what they'd trade down for unless they really like see like one of the linemen or Ashton Jainty as like a can't miss player and they have to go get him. But at the same point, Jainty might kind of fall to them where they're sitting. It's not oh cool, we're down to one person, or is it just YouTube deleting all the viewers? Pretty sweet. Love when YouTube does that. YouTube sees I have a small stream and it's like, we're going to make this the smallest stream on YouTube. 0. Or is there no point in doing this draft? Is it just me and you, Cameron? Okay, we're back up now. What's up, Jacob? All right. But yeah, typical rules apply for the drafts here. What's up, Darrell? Yeah, I mean it's it's timing. Yeah, I've been hearing the Browns want Hunter. I see a certain team at 6 will take Jainty. Who's that 6? But either way, the rules are as always. We make arguments for who the pick is going to be and why. Strongest argument wins the pick. If you're a fan of a team, just say you are, and you can kind of have that pick. Raiders either take Jainty or McMillan at 6. It's one of the two. And with McMillan's really strong like pro day and combine, I don't know. Rare size of speed. He's pretty quick for a big receiver, actually. Like surprisingly quick. If the Patriots trade back and get him, I don't know if I hate it. You know what I mean? Like I would have hated it, but when I learned he ran like a 4.47, what website? Oh, it's Pro Football Sports Network. You just type in NFL Draft Simulator. NFL Draft Simulator 2020. NFL Draft Simulator 2025. And it's the second one on Pro Football Network. Oh, shit. Hold on. I might have fucked it. No, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're all set. Yeah, the Browns probably are going to take Travis Hunter. That's the biggest disappointment. I hope the Browns do some silly shit and take Shedeur. No, we're down to 3 again. I don't know how many people are actually here, to be fair. Make sure we leave some likes, maybe get some more people in here. That'll help us out a ton. We've got all 3 in here, so, maybe we could get some more likes. I mean, we have 6 likes, rather. That's pretty good, pretty good. All right, anyway. Yeah, those are the general rules. If you're a fan of a team, say it, you get to pick. If there's 2 of you that are a fan of a team, then both of you kind of have to fight it out. And then, obviously, there's some other stuff, but kind of hoping some more people show up, but it doesn't seem like it. Yeah. All right. Well, I think this is about as good as we're going to get going. So I think we should hop right in here, folks. All right. We're at 10 minutes anyway. We're going. All right. Hopefully this didn't just rank the stream down. All right. We're good. All right. Whenever we make the first pick is when we have the first pick. So if we're probably being all honest here, the odds of Cam Ward not being the number one pick feel almost like zero at this point. Hasn't Cam Ward canceled all his other appointments? He's like, I'm just basically going to be meeting with Tennessee at this point. So it's one of the, and like Tennessee's kind of like, we're really not interested in meeting with any of the other top 30 guys either. So this one's kind of like, yeah, this is a done kind of pick. I think we're all in agreement of that, unless somebody else has like a crazy thing the Titans do. I don't really see it. Fuck no. What's there to like about the Mayo man? I always call him Will Mayo, but I know it's his name isn't Will Mayo, it's Will Levis. Yeah, I was gonna say this draft starts at 2. This is one of those drafts where it's like, yeah, we could all just kind of pencil in Cam Ward at number 1. I think it's like one of those, like, you're like one of those edgy pick-me's if you're like, actually, I think they're gonna take blah blah blah. I like how there's 3 people here and people think they're gonna get their team's pick and not participate. I'm gonna take that away going forward. I'd be like, sorry, you didn't participate enough. I'm going to override and make your team take the worst player I can draft for them in the first round. Dun, dun, dun. I'm pretty sure it's just, actually, I have no idea. I think YouTube's broke. Cam Ward. No one ever cares about the Titans either, by the way. All right, now we're on the Cleveland Browns. This sucks that there's like a Browns fan here because now there's like nothing here to talk about. Because they could just be like, well, I'm going to go here. And it's like, this is arguably the most interesting pick to talk about in the entire draft. Because it kind of determines the way the rest of the draft goes. Hey, what's up, Chris? How's it going, man? Nice to see you. Yeah, GG. Tigers are too good. They're too good now. And I'm trying to think, like, you could imagine Carter, but however, that feels sort of like an irresponsible pick. You just got Jalen. You just paid Myles Garrett an absurd amount of money. Yeah, and you also got us Wednesday. So Carter's probably out of the picture. Travis Hunter is one of the more make sense pieces, right? Cleveland could use kind of like a dynamic star player. They could definitely use some corner help. Receivers a little thin for them as well, so that would be a big boon. And then, of course, their quarterback situation is not great. You've got, what have you got? You got Deshaun Watson, who's probably not going to play next year because he's banged up. Yeah, but the pairing of those two, it doesn't do anything. Like, it doesn't improve some of your bigger issues, which are corner. In my opinion, they have. I think they got one corner. I think they got Ward at corner, and I think that's about it. I think their other corners are. Oh. My internet sucks, dude. I don't know if it's ever going to come back. Oh, okay, we're good now. All right, well, hopefully we can get another 14 minutes and then it'll be shitty again. Hopefully it's kind of like giving us like 15-minute windows to work here. I don't know. Where's Jacob at, though? Did he leave immediately? He's like, hey, dude, can I do the Browns? No, and it's the 2 pick. He's like, all right, I'll be back soon. I don't know. They just don't have any good corners. But yeah, most likely at this stage, it feels like it's Travis Hunter. Anybody else got anything otherwise to input here? That's kind of where I'm leaning is Travis. Because again, they could use a receiver, they could use a corner. It feels like they could use sort of a multitude of picks at this sort of juncture. So, and again, I think when you have a player like Travis who can do multiple things, I think that's one of those things where it's like, well, it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. Because if he doesn't go here, he's probably going to the Giants. You know what I mean? It's like one of those either or situations. Because again, the Giants don't really need a quarterback in the first round. You can probably wait and get Quinn in the second. and you're not like the drop in quarterbacks now is so far it's like shooting fish in a barrel. At least in my humble little opinion, I think we're pretty much at a situation where is it super laggy and everyone left because no one's chatting now. And you think people would be into this pick because this is a pretty big one. Yeah, we're just doing the first round. Connection bad? Okay, we're good. All right. Travis Hunter. All right, yeah, we're gonna go Hunter then. There's no Browns fans here for some reason. Yeah, their needs are quarterback, wide receiver, OT, running back, DT. So quarterback, I mean, it's either him or Shadur, so it's one of the two. All right, we'll go Travis Hunter. We're on the New York Football Giants. Interesting decision. This probably becomes Shadur Sanders with that pick we just made. They're very high on Shadur. You could also see Armin Membo go right here. You could see Abdul Carter go number 1. Do all the QBs suck? Yeah, no, it's not you, J-Cam. They're all terrible. It's a terrible quarterback class. It's akin to 2013. I don't even think Cam Ward's going to be good. This is a terrible year to need a quarterback. Shadur, he wants to go there. There was literally one quarterback in this whole class. Yeah, I mean, Cam Ward could be good. I think Jackson Dart's kind of a sleeper pick. And I think Quinn Ewers is also a sleeper pick. But other than that, dude, yeah, it's a pretty bad class. And like those two guys got to go to the right teams in order for it to work. And the Titans aren't one of them. And I have no idea where Quinn's going to go. And if Dart goes to a good team, he could act. If Dart goes to like the Rams, he's in a really good spot to succeed. But again, are we going to put Shadur Sanders or are we going to go Abdul Carter? Because they could use, it says a defensive tackle. It says they could also use a tackle. So Will Campbell's in play here. I don't think so. I don't think so, J-Cam. Giants Quinn. I'm not sure what you mean, Darrell. Oh, Quinn Ewers. Yeah, maybe in the second round. Giants pick Shadur. This pick Carter. I'm tempted to lean on Carter for this one. Are we thinking Abdul here? I mean, it's either him or I think they need Shadur. I think this is the right pick to sit behind Russell Wilson. I think this is the right move. It's really hard for me to think this isn't the right move. I was going to say, they don't have a quarterback that's going to be on the roster next year. If we really stop and think about it, Jameis is there for a year. Russ is only there for a year. Like, I think this is the move. I think we go Shadur. Yeah, the need is that it's their number one need. And I think Shadur is going to be a decent QB. Fuck this. We're taking too long. All right. Now we go to the Patriots. But fuck, it's the job, dude. They don't need a defensive and that's the number one thing. Also, don't they have Kayvon Thibodeau and somebody else? I think they have Brian Burns too. Like, the one position that team does not need is edge rusher. Drafting Abdul Carter would be a really silly ass trade, or a move for the Giants. It would make no sense. Because it's like, well, don't you already have Thibodeau and Brian Burns, and where are you going to play him? Because again, are you replacing Abdul? Are you replacing Kayvon Thibodeau or fucking Brian Burns with Abdul Carter? No, that's a waste of a pick. Patch trade, probably not now. If this situation falls for the Patriots, they're taking Abdul Carter. We don't have an edge rusher in New England. Yeah, exactly. They have Kayvon and Burns. They don't need an edge rusher. No, Patriots, hell no. I was gonna say this is the easiest pick. Carter, my coach is Mike Vrabel. Watch. Oh, edge rusher is also our third biggest need. It's either Armin Membo or it's going to be Abdul Carter here. So I'm going to wind up going Carter here just because of the way the draft is falling out. But my initial plan was to trade with the Saints if Carter wasn't there. Yeah. That my initial plan was to trade this to the Saints and take Membo at 9 and be like, I just won this draft. But yeah, the Patriots need an edge rusher. Now we have one to pair alongside Keon White, and that looks really good. Again, we literally had one of the worst fucking defenses in the league last year. Jaguars go offensive line. Oh, 100%. It's either Membo or Will Campbell. I think it's Membo here. The Pats running back. Ramondre Stevenson. He had kind of a fumble problem last year. They could also go defensive tackle, though. I mean, they could go Mason Graham. They also don't really have their D-line isn't bad. But like they don't have a tackle. Like they have good edge rushers, but they just don't have tackles, dude. That's why their defensive line is so useless all the time, despite having like a flurry of elite pass rushers on either edge. They have no guy up the middle to do anything. Like you don't even know that Trayvon Walker's had 24 sacks across the last like 2 years because his team is just nothing going on. And I think they signed guys in the offseason, didn't they, for their offensive line to kind of soothe these woes? Now, do they trade back here with somebody? That's the real question here. Do we do a trade? Now, because nobody else in line here is going to take Mason Graham. I don't think any person in this line, they could trade with the Saints. Do we pull a trade here? Or does somebody need to do a trade to come up and get somebody here? Just for the fuck of doing a trade. Also, we can also just do trades sometimes because it's like nobody's gonna take fucking Mason Graham until I don't even think who would take him. I think the Cowboys might come up. So I think Mason Graham could fall to 12. I don't see anybody taking Mason Graham. I don't see the Raiders taking him. I don't see the Jets taking him. I don't see the Panthers taking him. I don't see the Saints taking him. Yeah, I don't see the Saints taking him. I don't see the Bears. I don't see this. For what? The Bears need linemen, dude. Dude, you're not passing on Campbell or fucking Armin Membo if they're there. Maybe the Jets take, bro. I don't know. Am I just gonna take Mason Graham here? I mean, we could just do Mason Graham. We could just do that, I guess. We don't have to trade. We'll just save the trades for the lower part. Lower part of the draft will trade anyway. All right, we'll just do this. All right, now we're to the Raiders. Cornerback, running back, wide receiver, safety, defensive tackle. This is Ashton Janty, right? This is why I thought we should do a trade with the Cowboys. I thought the Cowboys would have gone ballistic to go up and get this move because the Raiders are 100% taking Janty. I was thinking we went defensive with our 10th pick and then a tackle second round. Okay. All right, for sure, Matthew. All right. I mean, it's your pick too. Yeah, Janty is the pick here, but it's like that's also why I thought maybe we should consider the Mason Graham and Jaguars. Like the Cowboys are the type of team to come up and trade and take away from a team. Hey, we hit 10 likes. Surprise. All one of us here. Good. Yeah, we'll go Janty. That's a pretty solid pick. The only bummer is, again, also apparently the Jets are super interested in Ashton Janty. They'd be interested in trading a player like Breece Hall. And that's also why I was thinking that the Jaguars might move that pick because, again, maybe they trade with the Jets and the Jets take Janty. The Raiders take Teddy or McMillan now. And then do we want to restart and redo the Jags trade, or are we just going to keep this going? Because, again, there's like 3 teams that potentially all want Ashton Janty. Maybe 4 with the 49ers because they traded away all their running backs too, by the way. So they're down to 1 running back. And I think Ashton Janty is probably somebody like the kind of player Ashton Jainty is the kind of guy like a Shanahan probably dreams up when he's just sitting there bored. He's like, man, if I could have a guy just like Ashton Jainty, I'd be so happy. So again, there's always that. I feel like there's 4 or 5 teams right in a row that really want that running back, and I don't think the Jaguars need to take Mason Graham there. But we'll move on. What do we think the Raiders? Oh yeah, we're already doing the Raiders taking Jainty. Jets. I have no idea what to do with the Jets. Jets go Warren. Yeah, most likely. I think this has been one of the most obvious picks in a while. Yeah, the Saints might also want him. That's another reason why I was like, man, that Jaguars are not picking at 5, especially if they're going to go Mason Graham or a tackle. They're trading that shit right away. That'll be a valuable pick, especially after the horse shit of the first, like after fucking Carter and Hunter go, and that'll calm everything right down. They passed on Bowers last year. Get Warren this year. Yeah, they need it. They need a tight end. They don't have one. I don't like. It's offensive tackle, defensive tackle, wide receiver, tight end. Did they pass on Campbell or Membo though? That's one question we have to ask ourselves, because Membo's a very good potential tackle. Do they pass? Chris is like, yeah, they pass on Armin Membo, that bust. The Raiders might actually trade the pick. I don't think so. I think the Raiders are going to try to get their hands on Jainty if they can. Or they're going to take Teddy or McMillan. I think they have 2 very specific targets in this draft in the first round, and they'll get one of the 2. Especially if the Jaguars don't give up the pick. I don't know. Are we sold on Warren going to the Jets, or are people kind of like, well, we're indifferent because it's the Jets and fuck them? I personally think they might go with a tackle here, but you can be open to any possibility. What do we think? Jets, do they go tackle? They don't have a tight end. You know what? We probably should go Tyler Warren here. I think that's probably the right move. Somebody pointed out, yeah, they did pass on Bowers like idiots. Yeah, that's true. I mean that didn't really help. But yeah, we'll go Tyler Warren. Y'all are right. All right, we're on Carolina, the mid team. Let me guess, Armin Membo. Carolina goes offensive lineman, Jalen Walker. Do you want to trade down as a top 8 pick, huh? Okay. It's your pick. Do you think we should trade this? I don't know who'd trade down though, and for what. There really isn't anybody we're trading down for right now. Yeah, well, fine. We'll go Jalen Walker. That's fine. He's going to Carolina. New Orleans Saints, an actual interesting pick now. They might go Will Campbell if he's sitting right there. They need a guard. They need a tackle potentially. Well, actually, not really. Will Campbell might play guard. Yeah, you guys don't really need line that bad. You could see Teddy or McMillan going here if they trade away Olave. Will Johnson isn't a bad idea. They don't really have corners. I see them taking Campbell. Canales said we're going defense in the first round anyways. Oh, okay. Well, that helps out Chris then. I see Campbell too, mainly because he's a versatile guy who could play right tackle. Because they've already got fucking Ramczyk or whatever at left. So they've already got one of the game's better left tackles. So that's, you know what I mean? You could put Campbell at right. And if he doesn't work, again, that fills your card need out. That's true. They did lose Lattimore. That's a really strong point. And their line really, I mean, they need guards, and you can get those in the second round. I feel like you shouldn't waste a top 10 pick on a guard. It's like, and that's what they're doing with Will Campbell. Oh man. Yeah, I mean Johnson's actually going to be a really good corner in the NFL. I'm hoping Will Johnson falls to like 27 or some shit, 28. Let's see. Who have I taken more picks from? I don't know. I don't even know. I mean, there's good points for both of these players. My gut's kind of leaning on Will Campbell. That was my initial idea here. And again, they do need linemen. Their line is dog shit. That whole team sucks. I don't know what's more important, getting some linemen or getting a corner. Their division has... I think it might be important to go corner. Just kind of like considering like the Falcons are on the rise with a good new young quarterback. The Saints are the Bucks are the Bucks. And then, of course, you've got the Panthers kind of on the way up. And he does make a point. They don't really have a fucking secondary anymore. But it does say corner's their third biggest need. I don't know. I think I'm going to stick with my gut and go with Will Campbell on this one. I think that's the pick they're going to have to go. They need a plug and play lineman. Chicago Bears. I'm gonna guess that the Bears are gonna take Princely Uman Mylan for the pick. An edge rusher from Ole Miss. Or Oronde Gadsden II. Or Danny Stutzman. The Danny Stutzman. Those are your options. Anyway, go ahead. It's your pick. All right, this will be our 10th pick of the draft. Woo! I'm guessing you're going to go defense or tackle. I mean, you've got probably the best lineman in the draft available. You got Shamar Stewart as an option. Yeah, you have a kind of a tough pick here to some extent. Certainly not an easy, just like, I'm going to go this way type of pick. Lions trade up. What would be the Lion? What are the Lions after at this juncture? Do they want Shamar Stewart that bad? I think that's who they'd go get, right? That would be like their move would be to go get Shamar Stewart. We could do that. It's just like, I don't know if the 49ers would want to do that trade. Who do you want him there for, Cameron? Yeah, you want the edge rusher and yeah, the edge rusher would be Shamar Stewart then. I mean, yeah, I mean we could. I just don't know. Who would trade up? I don't think the Bears and the Lions would execute a trade. And who would move up for what? You don't move up for tackles. You know what I mean? I'm just a little confused on who would go get what. Cameron, who do you want Tet to go to? Oh, at 12? Should we trade the Bears back to 12? Matthew, this is your pick, man. We're kind of stalling here. if you want to do a trade, you got to kind of come up with it. Like, what do you want me to do here, man? We're all kind of like, we can't do anything because this is your pick. Nothing we suggest matters. If you want to do a trade, you got to come up with a scenario and do it. I don't know why this is taking so long. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Just take Banks. Why would you take Banks when Membo's right there? Hold on a minute. We're not going to do that. Why would you... Matthew, you're panicking like an actual Bears GM right now. Calm down. You're panicking like the Bears GM. No reason to take Banks. You got Membo. He's sitting right there. Dude, that's the pick I want the Patriots to make if I can't get my two guys that I want. Like, if my team drafts Membo, I think we win the first round. That's how good of a player I actually think he is. But in our mock draft, we got Carter somehow. So I'm completely fine. Like that, it's one of those two guys or Membo for the Patriots. I don't think you should take Kelvin Banks here. Matthew, is this the pick you want to do? If you want to trade back, we can get we can do a trade back. You can take time to think about it. It's not hard. We had Cam Ward go to the Titans. Travis Hunter went to the Browns, and Shadur went to the Giants because why would they take another edge rusher? They have Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau already. You know how crazy of a pick that would be to be like, and now we want Abdul Carter. Yeah, they're like expected to take the guy at this point. And I'm pretty sure there was a Browns fan in here that said he wanted Travis Hunter. Yeah, Membo is literally your biggest need. I think that's the smart move. I think that's a very, very good draft pick for the Bears. You literally just solved a lot of your franchise's problems with that. Would have thought Carter and Shadur. Yeah, we went with Giants Shadur because that's the most like they need that. No, Max would be so happy if his team got Travis fucking Hunter, dude. I'd be so mad. Lions give up first round, fourth round, next year, second round. Oh, yeah, you want to try to do the trade. All right, we're going to try and do a trade here. Let's see if we can pull this shit off. The Lions are going to call up the... There's a way to do this where I win it. The Browns do need a receiver and corner. All right. I'm pretty sure this would cost you a first. And probably like a fourth this year. Oh, I got it rejected. Damn. The 49ers literally said no to that shit. That's crazy. No, you're good, Matthew. You didn't have to worry about it. You're good, dude. I was just messing with you. All right, we're going to try this again. Here, we'll try it as the Niners going first this time. The Lions offer up this. Because it's like weird that they would have said no on that. We'll try the 102 for the first. Oh, no, it's not going to let me do that trade. Sorry. All right, we're just, the Lions don't get to do the trade up. I mean, I could make it happen. Is it like a big deal we do this trade up? Darrell, there's no reason to trade up for an edge rusher in this year's draft, by the way. Like, that's a silly move in this class. Like, this is a very, very deep draft class. Yeah, Will Johnson, right? It's since the defensive tackle is gone. Oh, wow, the 49ers would have really took, okay. Yeah, good thing they didn't trade. Will Johnson, right? That's the obvious pick here. Losing War. I think they lost another corner, didn't they? Yeah, no one knows. The Dallas Cowboys. You could say they need another receiver in Teddiora McMillan. You could say they need an edge rusher in Shamar Stewart. You could say they need a tackle in Calvin Banks. Or do they go Matthew Golden, who could be a better receiver than McMillan? Yeah, it is. Darrell, it's not a big deal. If you need an edge, if you want to draft an edge rusher, it's one of them things where it's like just stay patient. A good edge rusher will fall to your team this year. It's one of I think that is the pick of the class this year. It's like if you need an edge rusher and you can't get your hands on Carter, just be patient. There's no reason to like rush up a board this year or like be panicky for like a Shamar Stewart over like Mike Green or you know what I mean? Like there's not that big of a talent gap between all the secondary guys. Maybe a tiny one. Mike Green's fucking crazy though. Mike Green's probably the like second best defensive end and maybe like the seventh or eighth most talented player in this class. The problem with Mike Green, he's fucking nuts, dude. He might fall to Kansas City if I'm being honest, and he might be the newest Kansas City Chief. He fits the mold of the type of player they pick. Either Ted or Golden. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out who it's going to be. Who do you think? Do they stay with Golden because he's in the state? Mike Green, the Marshall edge rusher. The uber talented first round talent playing at Marshall University for some reason, Ben. In the era of the transfer portal, he's still at Marshall. You know what kind of fucking record somebody like that must have? What kind of weird criminal shit this guy gets down into? To still be a consensus like top 15 talent. Be like, oh man. He's a machine, but he's literally just nuts. Not a great guy. Yeah. Do we think Tet or Golden here to the Cowboys? They're going receiver most likely here for Dallas. Well, where do they go? Shamar Stewart. Golden does make more sense. I don't know. Shamar Stewart doesn't knock a wide receiver. I could see them being really into Shamar Stewart or Kelvin Banks. Because again, Banks is probably going to be a guard. But this is a good draft class to need a guard. You don't have to take a guard early either. This is like a weird class where you don't need to take guards early. But, you know. Yeah, I forgot all they got is CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, let's just I don't know. Ted's more their style. Matthew Golden's more what they need. It's they've already got a type receiver in their guy. Yeah, we're gonna go with fucking Matthew Golden. Lineman. Who do you got who's the best lineman left right now? We could go Tyler Booker. We could go Josh Simmons. We could go Kelvin Banks Jr. Whatever you got for linemen. Or did they draft Teddy or McMillan because this is a very unserious organization that hates Tua and wants him to die? What's my favorite football movie? I'm not a big fan of sports movies. They're all kind of bad, but I like Longest Yard. I've always enjoyed that movie. The Adam Sandler version. That's probably it. I guess I like The Waterboy too. Water sucks. It really, really sucks. Just the silliness of that movie always gets me pretty good. And like, you know what's always weird about Adam Sandler movies? If you go watch them and you pay attention to who the extras are, there's some like wild people in his universe. Like, you know, Jon Stewart's in a lot of those movies. For example, Jon Stewart's actually in Big Daddy with the Dylan Sprouse twins or whatever. That's who the little kid is, by the way. It's the fucking Sprouse twins. Their dad, who the guy who like Sandler's like watching the kid of, is Jon Stewart. Like it's one of them things where it's like, oh wow, and again, because Stewart looks so young and you know it's hard to tell, but fun. Yeah, the cameos in these movies are insane usually, because again, these are all like Sandler and his young buddies. I don't know, what are we thinking for the you just go Calvin Banks here? Like We Are Marshall. I have trouble taking We Are Marshall seriously because. Tell me if I'm wrong about this scene. After the scene where We Are Marshall wins, Or like Marshall University wins their first game after the plane crash. It's a phenomenal movie. But they fucked the whole movie up with. Is there not a voiceover after they win their first game where they're like, the following week, Marshall lost 66-6. And it was just like, and Marshall didn't win another game that year. And their shitty one player never really got back to playing again. However, it wasn't all bad for Marshall. They had a few good times. And it's like they just show like Steve McNair and then Randy Moss, and then they're like, wasn't all bad. And then the movie ends. I'm telling you, the fucking credits to that movie, if you haven't seen it, I almost think this might be a fucking fever dream, because I just remember just this sad lady voice coming on after they're like celebrating the win. And they just go, the following week, Marshall lost 66-6. And I laughed so fucking, dude, I just remember like laughing hysterically at that moment, because it's like, you just have this emotional win, everybody's celebrating, and then you just hear this sad British sounding lady. All right, the Indianapolis Colts. We've already taken the one player, so I don't remember who I was talking about. Tyler Warren, so he's not in the picture for this pick. We can go lineman. Go edge rusher. Linebacker. I don't know. We can go quarterback. They need a lot of help. So Loveland should be it. Yeah, I was going to say they don't really have tight ends, and they have like a quarterback who could really use a tight end to throw the football to. Which is crazy that their 8,000 foot tall tight end didn't work out. Seems like those guys never just work out, those 6'8"ers, which is weird. You think they would. Yeah, we'll go Loveland. That was my initial thought too. Like, especially with like what's remaining. Indy doesn't need edge rushers and shit. I got a fucking 1,000 of them. Ooh, this is interesting. Corner. The defense, right? look who it is. Hey, what if they go Quinn Ewers? Now, I will say, it is crazy that the Falcons are 100% redeemed in taking Michael Penix last year. You got to admit, that was a 1,000 IQ play by that GM. He's like, listen, I looked at what that class was next year, and I fucking knew if I didn't take Michael this year, we was going to be stuck with Kirk Cousins and fucking Jackson Dart. We would be in absolute hell right now. So kudos to the Falcons general manager for doing a difficult thing that turned out to be the right thing for his team. I don't know. They probably go. They need an edge rusher pretty far. They need a whole defense. So I'm gonna say Shamar Stewart as a honorary Falcons fan. I'm actually a part owner of this franchise, so I'm gonna use my ownership credit here. Maybe Starks. Yeah. They just signed Jesse Bates though. I don't know if they need a safety that bad. You know what I mean? Whereas I feel like they literally have no pass rush, like none. Like I don't think Judon's even on the team anymore. They got rid of him. Whereas at least they have Jesse Bates. So I don't know if that warrants a first round pick. But again, I literally can't tell you who's. What's up, Kenny? I literally cannot tell you who's one of their pass rushers. So I'm going to go Shamar Stewart here. Arizona. McMillan. I feel like this is where McMillan would go, right? Well, they just drafted a receiver first round last year, so maybe not actually. Derek Harmon. I don't know. Oh, Ben agrees. He's actually, this is actually where McMillan would go because these idiots would draft fucking McMillan. Or they would also take Mike Green, by the way. It's one of those two players right there at the top of our board are going right here, I'm pretty sure. It's one of the two because that's kind of who they are as a team. Yeah, Mize is looking great. Didn't they have Braylon Trice? That's who I thought they played for. I don't know who that is. Arnold Ibiketti. Yeah, that's not any. That doesn't mean you know. They're gonna take a defensive player. I know they are. They got Marvin Harrison Jr. So I don't. Yeah, they got Marv. Yeah, actually, you know what? They did get Michael Wilson too. Yeah, you know what? They don't need a receiver right now. Who were you saying? What are we thinking here? Mike Green? Are we just gonna go Mike Green? I mean, they'll take the shot. I don't think their coach is crazy. I think they're gonna be the team that takes the shot. It's like old controversy too, by the way. It's nothing new. He hasn't actually gotten in trouble in a long time. It's just people are horrified if he does get in trouble because he did some pretty bad shit when but he was also pretty young. I think he assaulted somebody, correct? I think it was like, wasn't it like some sexual assault, like some sexual violence that he got? I don't mean to laugh, um, but yeah, I mean, and again, what he did, I think it was all pre-18, which is why he didn't really get in much trouble for it. So we're gonna go Mike Green here. Oh, dude, that would have been such a good Bengals pick. Oh, we should have put him on the Bengals. But Derek Harmon is my pick here, or Malachi Starks. Or yeah, that's probably It's gonna be defensive players, or tackle here. This could be that Ohio State kid. You want summer? Oh, summer break. Yeah, I think everyone does. Except it feels like that'd be a little early to pick Simmons. Booker. Tyler Booker. I mean, that's not a bad pick. That would make some sense. It would help Burrow out tremendously. Probably lineman. Especially if it looks like they're going to be keeping Trey Hendrickson. Looks like we're not doing any trades though. Yeah, they lost Alex Kappa, so a guard here. Would they trade back? Oh no, them sneaky ass. No, I don't think anyone really wants that pick. Would there be anybody in this draft that would go get Tet McMillan right now? Is there any team remaining here that would try to go make a crazy aggressive play to go get Tet? With Green Bay. Green Bay. Do we want to do a move here? Kenny, Ven? You boys need a wide receiver on your football team. And McMillan's just fucking free falling right now. Somebody's going to grab him. Like the Steelers will probably steal him at this point. McMillan's available. It's still all the way down there. And I feel like the Bengals can trade. Gold's already gone. Yeah, Bucks might take him, by the way. Like more than likely he's probably going to like, oh no, they kept Godwin. They don't need him. I don't know, just because we haven't done any trades and like somebody's gonna, like the Chargers might take him. The Seahawks just lost all their wide receivers, by the way. Seahawks just traded all their wide receivers. They ain't got nobody to catch the football on that team. The Chargers still ain't got nobody for Justin. Is this a move you guys want to do? Because I know you're thinking receiver here in the first, right? Is this? No? Okay. Kenny? Okay. Oh, okay. Is that a no trade? All right, for sure. For sure. All right, we'll pause then. What about the Seahawks moving up, or what about Seattle or the Chargers moving up for that pick? Because again, they really don't have a receiving core. Yeah, that's true. Fair enough, Ben. Fair point. How are we feeling about the Chargers right now? Or do we just let this play out? I mean, we don't have to do trades, by the way. There's just the option of doing a trade if somebody wants to do a trade. I just figured I'd throw it out here. Otherwise, we could just take Tyler Booker here for the Bengals. It just feels like kind of like a reach. That's all. Chargers or Broncos go up. Yeah, because they don't want Seattle. They're probably going to panic about the Bucks or these two. We'll let it play out though. We'll play it out. All right. We're on to Seattle. Guard, tackle, wide receiver. Yeah, they're probably going to go fucking tackle. Josh Simmons. Yeah, JT went to the Raiders all the way at 6. Even though like all of these teams probably want Ashton JT, including these two. But nobody agreed that this all happens and like the Jaguars could auction off Ashton JT to this entire line of teams who all want him. Jets have expressed this is the only team that hasn't expressed interest in him. Yeah, the Raiders is I think Simmons falls because of his injury. Fair enough. What are we thinking for Seattle here? They're probably going to go lineman, most likely here. I don't know if Zabel's really that high of a first round pick. Oh, 100% then. Yeah, that's exactly how they do it because they just be like, this is going to rule. What do we do? Guard. Well, then we're trading back because that's fucking the guards available suck. Hey, Darrell, do you want to do a trade? I know you've been trying to move up. Is there anyone you're looking at specifically? Yeah, this is a trade back situation. Who would be the team to come up? Kansas City likes to come up. The Eagles like to come up. The Bills are known to come up. The Lions tend to like to move up a little bit in these spots. Lions also have compensatory picks they can trade. The Ravens are a very aggressive team. What's up, Jonathan? Vikings tend to move up. I think the Vikings are a very strong move up candidate, actually. And they usually like to aggressively kind of hop up to go get something. And I think they might be looking at building out their secondary a little bit. So I think that they want Malachi Starks. Anybody opposed to that? The Vikings trading up to go get Malachi Starks to prevent any of these people getting him, specifically Pittsburgh. Harrison Smith is getting very, very old. And I feel like they just lost players in their secondary. Like Gilmore's old. Vikings did it last year. The Chargers. All right, we can do Chargers. All right, we'll do Chargers. We can do Chargers. All right, we'll propose a trade. I wish I knew how this actually laid out. Chargers call up the do. Lions trade up to get Jihad. I don't think at least you don't got to trade up to get Jihad. All right. We're just doing this to get the pick. All right. Chargers call up Seattle. They offer. Okay, I must have to do it the other way because like that would be an insane thing to turn down. All right. Who is the fuck? Like that's crazy if they actually turn this down. All right. Can we please move up for this? Yay, we did a trade. All right, now the Chargers are up. And they're going to take McMillan at this pick. Mainly because it's like, yeah, this is where McMillan would go. Yep, this is okay. Now we can do trades because I know what side to be on now. The team on the left has to be the one getting completely screwed. Anyway, the Buccaneers are up now. They need corner, safety, edge. I'm going to say Malachi Starks is the pick here. Bucks and Broncos. Oh, the Broncos make a move? That's a dumb. I don't want to. That's just trading for trading's sake, and I don't want to do that. The Seahawks moved down because the guard they're getting would be a huge reach at that spot, and no one else is going to take a guard at that spot. You know what I mean? Like till then, maybe. But what defense is Jade Brown actually going to be good enough to go over Malachi Starks? Yeah, 100%. They're going secondary. Their secondary sucks. Barron, Jahade Barron. Why does Starks make sense? My gut feeling is Starks too. I think he's going to be a very good safety, and he's I think he's a really solid fucking pick right here. I actually wouldn't be surprised if Starks goes a little earlier than like this in the draft. Oh. Ooh, yeah, I'm thinking Barron then, because they don't need a first round safety if that's the kind of hardware they're running around. That's an irresponsible pick in my opinion. Especially when there's a gap in corner talent coming. Yeah, I think because of a gap in corner talent, you got to take Barron here. I think it's a talent gap situation. Like the next corner is not as good as like Starks and between Emmanuel and again, you know what I mean? All right. Broncos, what are we doing? They could go Agbuka. They could go he's really had a fall. They could go running back, even though I don't really think there's another running back in the first round to go with. I guess Omari and Hampton. Will Johnson. Oh, yeah, he's long gone, Kenny. Wide receiver guaranteed. Are we going to go Agbuka? They could also go tackle. I mean, they could go Jihad Campbell. Yeah, I mean, they need linebackers, too. Jihad Campbell wouldn't be a bad pick. You guys want to go Jihad? Just because there's not really like another first round talent of those two positions in this round. I don't really think Emeka's a first round talent. They don't really need linemen. Their line's really good. Yeah, their line is good. Their receivers aren't great. Like if Emeka had like if he was trending better, Agbuka, if he had like a decent combine and pro day, he'd be doing so much better. Trade back for the Jets. We've already done the Jets pick. It's already over. We're already on to where are we at right now? Broncos defense is fine. It's just that you can't have Sutton and the rest of their DoorDash workers. It's just there's no one here to trade then. Who would trade with the Broncos? This is a trade then. There's no way you take Emeka. Who comes up and gets Malachi Starks? What are these fuckers doing? Did they need a safety in Detroit? No, they don't. They don't fucking need anything. Now we're not going to do the Lions. Actually, I don't want to do the Lions. What are you guys trading up for? What would be the move here? Yeah, now we'll do the Vikings trade now. Now we'll do the Vikings trade. The Vikings trade with the Broncos. What are we gonna do the trade for? That's always the fun part is oh, I have to do all this, right? And then it's just that. All right, Vikings had just gave away their whole draft to move up to get what are we doing for the Vikes? Oh yeah, secondary. Did they go Malachi Starks? What do we think the play here is? Hello? What did it freeze? Oh, okay. Hold on. My ship froze. One sec. Sorry, my ship froze. Minnesota. Yes. Nice. What do they need? I don't know. Vikings doesn't show me what it needs. Go Starks. Yeah, we're gonna do the Starks thing because that's the most obvious. Because their secondary isn't very good. Here's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh boy. We can go Walter Nolan. We can go Derek Harmon, which would be a good pick. We could go Egbuka. Oh, never mind. They got fucking DK Metcalf. What am I? That was a stupid statement. I don't know. What are we doing here? They can go Josh Simmons here. That might not be a bad pickup. Is that what they do? Or did they? Their line got fixed up. Their line wasn't actually half bad. Punter. As always, just Steelers need a QB. There aren't any QBs left to take in the first round. Their move would be to move up and grab Dart in the second round if they wanted a quarterback this year. Or maybe see if he kind of falls out of the first round or the second round even too. There isn't really a guy to grab right here. So I don't know. Harmon makes a lot of sense. Their defensive line wasn't great. Maybe. I still think that's way too early to grab Jackson Dart. I don't think you give up your fucking first round pick to get Jackson Dart. That's a really stupid idea, in my opinion. It's genuinely not worth it. For a guy who's probably a fucking third stringer, practice squad guy at best. Again, this is a bad draft class to need a quarterback. At 21? No, that's not a first round draft pick. Maybe in the second round. I'd hate any of these quarterbacks outside of those two in the first. I don't even really like Shedeur as a first round draft pick. So Texans get Simmons. I mean, we can do another trade. Yeah, I'm down. All right, and then we do Houston trading with Pittsburgh. This makes it so we can do Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh can do like a reckless shit later on, I guess. If we want to take Milroe really bad, we'll just do that. And then we'll have it all figured out. All right, now we have Houston drafting. Yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, this is wasn't it like this last year where there was a dickload of trades in the first round, especially at the end? All right. Anyway, now we're to the Texans. What? Oh yeah, Josh Simmons. That's what we want. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Yeah, this is a This is a no-brainer. This is just so also Seattle doesn't take him because Seattle's some bullies. All right, what do we do with Seattle? Now they're at the point where they could take like Siobhan Revel and not be like in trouble. Offensive tackle. They could also go Zabel because they need a guard. That's their number one. Yeah, I was gonna say Zabel too because their number one need is a guard right now. We'll go guard. Fuck 'em. Who cares? All right, Packers. They need a quarterback. It says quarterback is your number one need. Ethan Garbers, Miles Crowley. Punter's a good one. You could go with Draylon Ellis. Hudson Card. That's a Kyle McCord. He's really good. Dylan Gabriel. Will Howard. He's a pretty cool guy. He's got 2 first names. Ben's like, this is rude. I'm just trying to make a pick. I'm just messing around, Ben. I don't know who you guys would go with. I mean, Egbuka makes a lot of sense here. That's why I thought you guys would have tried to trade up for McMillan. I even tried to throw you a bone and say, go get McMillan because he's the best option left in this class. Actually, I feel like there's like a surprise option. I feel like Egbuka is going to be that guy. The like really weirdly slept on because he didn't run like a 4.340 guy. But he is like a top receiver from Ohio State, so it's not like he's like a dog shit. Like I don't know, it's tough. Like I like Egbuka too. I just don't think he was like, this is the kind of spot where he should be going. He's not like a pre-20 guy. Because again, if he kind of busts out after if a player busts out after the 20th pick, it's like, oh well, it is kind of a crapshoot anyway. It just sucks you got to pay for a crapshoot. But I don't know. True. Siobhan Ravel is there. Ravel is the best corner remaining, it says. And then it's quite a big gap again. There's like Xavier Watts or Benjamin Morrison. You going Egbuka? Kenny, are you here? Oh, well, he's not here. Any Denver Broncos fans? Watson gone for a while. Yeah, I mean, you guys needed receivers, so we want to go Jihad. Oh no, we had a player in mind, didn't we? But I think they're gone now. Yeah, it was great, Jacob. It was nice. It was good times. Wide receiver. Do we go Luther Burden here? I don't want the Chiefs to get Luther Burden because he might be very good at wide receiver. He's another guy who's crazy. The Packers. Even so, Emeka did meet with the Packers. That makes sense. We want to go Luther Burden here. I mean, he's another one of those controversial players that if he can keep his fucking mind together, he's a really talented guy. Yeah, I think that's the move. The Pittsburgh Squealers. We could go Walter Nolan. Derek Harmon's been a crazy fall at this point. I don't know. What do we think here? I still think it's too early to go grab a quarterback. And again, especially when they could grab one in the second round and do that trade. They could go Siobhan Ravel. Or should we just go? Actually, no. Um, the Steelers do. This sucks. I'm gonna just do this because I'm bored of this pick. Now it's the Los Angeles Rams. Rams may go with Jihad Campbell to help further build up their defense, or they might go Siobhan Ravel. Kind of an interesting pick here. He's I don't know. I don't think he's gonna fall that far either. By the way, I don't think Harmon's falling that far. In all honesty, nobody was providing much input on this fucking pick on that pick, so we moved on. Rams Jihad. Yeah, I think we're all on the same page here. Yeah, your defense was very bad last year for the most part, and you can get better offensive linemen in the second round. Where the hell? Oh, there he is. All right, the Rams. Or the Ravens, rather. Fucking linemen all suck. Harmon? Is Harmon the running back? Wait, no, hold on. Harmon. Harmon who? Ravens defense, Emmanuel for Baltimore. I was gonna say I think they need some more safety building to build out their secondary. So, yeah, that was my pick. I don't know. I think Harmon winds up going to. I'd have to see who needs DTs again. He might wind up dropping a little bit. Kind of just depends. Where's the Lions fan at? Would the Lions go James Pierce Jr.? I feel like they would. I feel like he's the best remaining edge in the class. Durrell's like, that's the pick. Then this prevents a real bad problem for everybody. Is if the Lions just take James Pierce Jr. You're like, it doesn't need to happen. But you have to think about how the Lions think. They're not a best team available guy. Who's going to pair best with Hutch is the question. Because I don't know. Feels like the Lions have an interesting pick. Besides, Daryl's the Detroit fan, by the way. So this is Daryl's pick. It's kind of why I keep asking Daryl. I'm like, what do you want James Pierce though? I tend to agree that that would be who the Lions pick. We're going junior. Okay. Yeah, I tend to agree with that's kind of more who the Lions would probably wind up picking out of the two. Just kind of how I've kind of observed the Lions would maybe even trade up to get this guy. I think they like players like him, which means Washington gets Michael Williams, kind of in a little bit of a reversal of what Cameron said. If that's cool with everybody, I'm pretty sure these guys are going to go edge rusher here, or they go Siobhan Ravel, because they did lose that corner, I believe. I think they lost the corner this offseason. No, that was a receiver they lost. Never mind. Oh, Edge rusher. They don't really have shit for edge. They got to build up some kind of defense to deal with the Eagles. Oh yeah, they got Lattimore. Never mind. Yeah, Kyle Williams is the pick, right? I'll do the Bills pick as an honorary Bills fan. I was voted in by Bills Mafia as the honorary Bills fan and historian. It does say corner is their biggest need outside of needing an edge rusher. But if a player from if I feel like Mike Howell's a pretty good grab, plus the Georgia links. I don't know. He's probably going to Buffalo next anyway. Let's go through defense. All right. Wait, like go through their defense? We don't have that much time. Do we want what are we doing? Michael or Siobhan Ravel? Oh, do defense tab. Oh, okay. There's Michael, Walter Nolan, Nick Scourton, Tyleek Williams, Siobhan Ravel, Donovan Aziraku, Kenneth Grant, Xavier Watts. Yeah, you know. I don't know. Let's just go Michael Williams. That's probably the easiest. Buffalo Bills. Buffalo definitely taking DT. Yeah, I was gonna say probably Walton Nolan, right? That was actually gonna be my pick. Was Walton Nolan. That also keeps another Georgia player away from the Eagles. Buffalo could go say. I think because everyone who's left is second round, you let them go into the second round now. I don't know if Siobhan Ravel is that big of a grab. Yeah, Walt Nolan. Kansas City. We go defense tackle, guard. They did just lose their guard. Donovan Jackson's is very likely type of player. Line's getting a bit old. Mahomes is rather injury prone. You know, he's not very good at football. They call him mid trick Mahomes. Fucking roasted him, dude. I'm just making sure. Oh, I just gotta check something. All right, cool. What's up? Kansas City now. Bo Nick's better than Mahomes. That's true. Give them another criminal player. That's. I mean, we have to think about the criminal record of the player. I mean, we can go Tyleek Williams. I don't know. What are we thinking here? Do we just go guard? Do we just kind of like tank the Kansas City pick and be like, Donovan Jackson. It's not even that bad. It's only 6 picks early. I forget we're in the 30s now. Because most likely, I mean, they got to probably take a guard here. Yeah. I don't know if they have anyone they can even like play. Do the Eagles go with Nick Scourton? Do they go with Tyler Williams? Do they go with Siobhan Ravel? They did just get rid of CJ Gardner. I don't know. What are we thinking for this final pick of the first round? And final pick of the draft. Hell yeah, we knocked another mock draft out. I think this is pretty close to what it's actually going to be, but most likely not. I think we'll get like 8 right in the first out of the first 10 picks. We'll do pretty good, and then it gets into fun land. Edge rusher makes sense for the Eagles. Says it's their number one thing. I think their defense is pretty solid. I was gonna say they don't really need anything. I'm gonna go with Ravel just because they need. The last I knew, they needed some corners. Let's see. Oh, they finally put this in a nice way. This is our full draft. At 1, we went Cam Ward to the Titans. Browns take Travis Hunter at 2. Giants take Shadur Sanders at 3. Pats walk away with Carter at 4. Abdul Carter. Jaguars have Mason Graham at 5. J&T goes to the Raiders at 6. Tyler Warren goes to the Jets, ending their bad tight end streak, maybe. Carolina Panthers take Jalen Walker. Will Campbell to the Saints at 9. Membo to the Bears at 10. Will Johnson to the 49ers at 11. Then you could I can keep going for a little while. Matthew Golden to the Cowboys. Calvin Banks Jr. to the Dolphins. Colston Lovestead over to the Colts. Shamar Stewart to the Falcons. Mike Green to the Cardinals. I don't know why I forgot that name. Tyler Booker. Let me just make sure I'm reading the names. Yeah, Tyler Booker to the Bengals. At 17 at 18. McMillan went to the Chargers. Barron went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 19. And then, I think everyone else has been here for these ones. Pretty good little list. And yeah, we'll probably do one more before the draft. It'll probably be like the week of the draft. We'll do our final NFL mock draft. I usually like to do about 4 of them a year. You have your kind of like pre everything, like right when the season kind of Super Bowl ends, you do kind of like a mock draft just to fuck around. And then you do like a pre-free agency type, and then like a post-free agency when everything's kind of dead. That's your second. Like goes 0, 1, 2, and then the third is the one right before the draft when you have a really good idea of what might just be happening. All right, though. I think we're doing pretty good then. Anybody got anything else they want to add? Cool. I was able to get it as a image. Sweet. Might start wrapping up though. I'm pretty sleepy. It's been an hour and a half too, surprisingly. Been a fun stream. Got to talk some football. Tomorrow we'll be back doing some baseball stuff, so. Yeah, you have a good night too, Matthew. I'm about to head out too. I'm fucking exhausted. I've had a long day. Been up since fucking 5. I didn't get much sleep. I had to teach today. I went and got my hair cut. It's been a long day. Had to do a bunch of research, give a bunch of feedback to people. So it's just been kind of like a full pedal to the metal type day. Excuse me. All right, everyone. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully you have a good rest of your evening. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight and doing this little mock draft. These are always really fun. So yeah, we got one more of these to do here as we get closer and closer to the NFL draft. What is it? Like 20-something days away? Or not even that long? Sheesh. All right. Peace out, everyone. Have a good night. Go Lions, go Tigers. Or go Lions, go Patriots. Of course, it's always go Tigers. I'll see you around. And peace out. Good night.